Hello, I'm Robert Holmberg. I'm a member of Science Outreach Athabasca, and this is the second part of Nature's Waterworks, how lakes and rivers function. And this is transitions from dry to wet. So this is an outline of all of the seven topics, and we've done one, and we're now on number two, and there's another five to go. So transitions from dry to wet. We know there are deserts, and we know that there are freshwater water bodies, and this is what's dealing with this presentation. So there's two basic facts. One is that the topography or the ups and downs of the Earth's surface varies. There's mountains and there's valleys and there's lowlands and whatnot. And two, gravity moves water downhill. So it moves from the uplands to the lowlands and eventually into the ocean. So the result of this is that there's a great variation in the amounts and the forms of water in various parts of the landscape. So in some places there's ice or snow or both, and other places there's lots of water, and in some places it's very dry. And we often talk about water and land being separate, but really they're integrated. We should be talking about land, water, water, land, because in land, the runoff from it carries particles and nutrients into water bodies, and water bodies permeate the edges of land, and there's lots of movement from nutrients due to flooding and from organisms that breed in water and go onto land of nutrient exchange. So they're really integrated, and in my mind, they should be dealt with together. So we should have land water acts, not land acts and water acts. Okay, first of all, there's the terrestrial or the upland. So we're talking about deserts, grasslands, and forests. And then we're talking about wetlands or lowlands, where there's a high water table, but there's no or very little open water, and these are marshes, bogs, fens, and swamps, and we'll deal with those. So a marsh is a wetland dominated by herbaceous vegetation, like in this photograph, and they're often found around the edges of water bodies. And then there are bogs or muskegs, and a bog is the same as a muskeg, and these are acetic wetlands, and the water mainly comes from precipitation, and therefore there's low mineral content. And the vegetation often includes sphagnum moss and decaying vegetation, and eventually this forms peat. And here's photographs of two bogs or muskegs. Now, fens are non-acetic, so they're more alkaline wetlands, and the water comes from the surface or ground water, and they have therefore a high mineral content. But they have often the same vegetation, so sphagnum moss and peat is often predominant, and you can't really tell a bog from a fen unless you do some chemical analysis. Now, a swamp is a wetland with forest or trees, and they're not often found in Canada, but they're found further south in warmer regions. Now, the importance of wetlands is they filter and clean water for our use. They do an ecological service, and they moderate droughts and floods. So they act as a water storage unit, releasing water during dry times and absorbing a lot of water during flood times. So they help recharge aquifers in the water table, and they reduce erosion, and they're a habitat for diverse organisms. So wetlands are very important. Now we move into the third area, is water bodies, and this is a depression with open water, and this is where lakes and rivers exist. So this is the end of the second section. The next section will deal with just rivers and lakes. Thank you.